What's up, you guys? So, Armageddon. This is not good news. Unless you've been living under a rock, chances are in the last 24 hours you've heard the warnings coming out from the president, chilling warnings of Armageddon. And take a look at these headlines, you guys, just coming out. Biden's Armageddon talk edges beyond the bounds of U.S. intel. Biden's chilling Armageddon warnings sharpens the stakes with Putin. And Twitter goes nuclear in response to Biden's Armageddon warnings, as we're hearing nuclear war is more of a threat, and the U.S. government is stocking up on medications to treat acute exposure to radiation. So, not looking good. And right now, with midterms coming up, we're hearing 80% of the population is concerned about our current economic situation domestically here in the U.S. And now with all these threats coming of nuclear war, these warnings, it's likely going to be making our economy even worse. Those on Social Security, how am I supposed to afford these record high food and gas prices, which we're hearing are going to be going up even more now? We're at 41-year high inflation, and the feds are increasing interest rates unlike anything we've ever seen, and they've warned us pain is on the way, and we're hearing a recession in 2023. It's becoming more and more likely. So things are getting turbulent for our economy, and people need help. And also, a lot of people are saying, what about all those leftover funds from previous stimulus packages? We're still dealing with the pandemic. People are saying they need help. Now, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest on this. I've got video footage, and these articles are going to be cited in the description down below. They all just came out in the last 24 hours. I'm going to let you guys know what's going on. Now, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Even though it's probably not the news that anybody wants to hear, if you appreciate the updates, smash the like button for me. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. I'll let you know everything that's going on. And also, any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. And as we enter into this recession, looks like it's going to be happening here. If you're interested in ways to help out yourself and your family, gain traction, and not just try to survive this recession, but actually learn some tips and tricks on how to thrive. Last week, I got some advice from multimillionaires and billionaires on some of the things they're doing. They're acknowledging we're going into a recession. Here's some of the things that you can do to actually help yourself and your family quite a bit. If you're interested, I'm going to be releasing that video. I'm going to try to do it today or Monday. Keep an eye out for that on my second channel, Steve Ram Finance. Hope it's a blessing to all those that see it, you guys. But with that being said, let's take a look at this video footage of what they're saying is unfolding right now.
We begin tonight with those words from President Biden behind closed doors, but they made immediate news. The president warning the risk of nuclear Armageddon has not been this high since the Cuban Missile Crisis, amid the threats from Vladimir Putin. The president saying Putin is not joking. As the Russians face serious setbacks in Ukraine, President Biden saying the threat of the use of nuclear weapons has not been this high since Kennedy and Cuba. President Biden also acknowledging the administration is asking what so many around the world, what so many here in the U.S. are asking. President Biden asking, quote, what is Putin's off-ramp? Our chief White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, leading us off tonight from the White House.
Tonight, with the war going badly for Russia,
Slava Ukraini!
The strongest warning yet from President Biden, saying when Vladimir Putin threatens to use nuclear weapons, he, quote, is not joking. No cameras allowed in the New York City fundraiser, but the White House confirming the president went on to say, quote, we have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy and the Cuban Missile Crisis. The U.S. has repeatedly warned Russia that using nuclear weapons on the battlefield would trigger catastrophic consequences. President Biden also telling the crowd that Putin's army is, quote, significantly underperforming, and that if he is backed into a corner, the president says Putin may turn to chemical and biological weapons or unleash a nuclear attack. But today, the White House seeming to try and downplay the president's stark warning, with multiple officials going on the record to say they see no intelligence that the Kremlin is preparing to use nuclear weapons imminently. In Ukraine tonight, President Zelensky saying he does not believe Russia is ready to use nuclear arms yet, but that Moscow is laying the groundwork with the Russian public.
They begin to prepare their society. That is very dangerous.
And the risk grows the more Russia falls back on the battlefield. Ukraine says 200 square miles of its territory and dozens of settlements have been retaken in the south in just the last week. And in the east, Ukrainian forces are also advancing. Our Ian Panel has been reporting on the devastation left in the wake of the Russian retreat.
The level of destruction in this town is truly shocking. Every single building has been razed to the ground. Because when the Russians came in here, they didn't just fire on the Ukrainian military. They deliberately destroyed every single building. And this is a policy that's been carried out across Ukraine, a policy of scorched earth.
Inside Russia, Putin's war is facing growing public and now private criticism. According to the Washington Post, a member of Putin's inner circle voiced disagreement directly to the Russian president over mistakes and mismanagement in the war. The Post says the criticism was deemed so significant, it was included in President Biden's daily intelligence briefing.
That's really striking. Cecilia Vega with us live from the White House tonight. Cecilia, two quick questions for you. First, there are these reports that the U.S. government has now purchased a significant supply of drugs to treat acute radiation syndrome, some $290 million worth of these drugs. Obviously, news of this purchase comes at this moment of heightened concern. So what are officials saying about why they made the purchase?
Yeah, David, the timing certainly raising eyebrows given these threats from Russia right now. But look, officials say that this purchase was part of ongoing security measures. Essentially, we're talking about the government making a purchase of these drugs in the event of nuclear emergencies. This is something they do often, David.
Often, but still rattling given the timing of all this. Cecilia, back to what you reported there. In the president's speech last night, President Biden saying that the U.S. is still trying to figure out what Putin's, quote, off-ramp is to get out of this conflict. This is a question being asked really by leaders around the world.
Yeah, and frankly, David, President Biden himself seemed pretty perplexed by this. He asked out loud to this group of donors, how is Putin going to get out of this, given the loss of power, given the war there? He doesn't necessarily see an off-ramp. But, David, right now, it really is worth repeating that U.S. officials are saying of this nuclear threat, as of tonight, they see no change in Russia's nuclear posture and that the U.S. government is not changing its at this point either, David.
All right, Cecilia Vega leading us off on a Friday night. Cecilia, thank you.
Well, let me know your thoughts. And you heard them say there that what is the exit strategy for Russia? They really don't even have one. And they're saying that this is probably not a good position for any of us to be in right now. Now, we will see you guys, but without a doubt, this is going to be exasperating the inflation and the issues that we're having economically. I'll keep you guys up to date. And as you guys know, I've assembled all the stimulus check provisions. I'm trying to put anything that can help people all into www.reliefroadmap.com, one place to access everything. I spent 3 months assembling it. That's going to be where you can access if your states, your cities, your counties are providing any stimulus provisions, any programs, any grants, or anything to try to help people out. No guarantee that it's going to have anything for you specifically, but you can access all of the work I've assembled in the past 3 months in that one place. And also, you guys, as more information rolls out, I'm just going to keep you guys up to date here on the channel, let you know what's going on, and if there's anything that can advance you financially, that's what it's going to be on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. We're going to be seeing, because I'm just honest with you guys here, for the economy, this is not going to be good as we enter into a recession and we've got war and interest rates increase, and we're still dealing with the pandemic. Things are not looking good. And also, we just had that OPEC announcement coming out that they're going to be shutting off a lot of the distributions coming to the United States. So if you haven't already, chances are you're going to be seeing gas prices increasing even more so. And with all of that, we've got midterm elections right around the corner. So we'll see, because Democrats have been trying to get things done to stay in power, but we could be seeing it switch hands over to the Republicans if they can't get things done and things are falling apart with the economy. We will see you guys. I'll keep you up to date on everything that's happening with the economy, with Congress, with politics, with the war. I'll let you know here on the channel, you guys. But that is the latest. Just want to make sure that you know what's going on. And as always, thank you so much for joining me, even on a Saturday morning. If you made it this far, you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button. Helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I will catch you in the next one. I'll keep you up to speed on everything taking place. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.